Yo, what is poppin'? It is your girl, Morgan DuPont, back at it again with another video. Today, we're gonna be reacting to some trans TikTok. I know it's been a little minute since I've done some content like this. I think that sometimes, especially on this platform, you have the people that are too far to the left and you have the people that are too far to the right, and I feel like I am a person who doesn't see everything so black and white. I have a very gray perspective. I do believe in the Kinsey scale, you know, I'm that kind of chick. Granted, I do believe that there are things that are black and white, such as biology. However, not everything is black and white, in my opinion. So without further ado, let's get right into my unsolicited opinions.
Hey everyone! So I'm doing my nails myself now. It was getting really expensive to get a mani and pedi every week. So sorry for all of the fireworks going off. I honestly feel like I'm back in Israel, Jerusalem. It's crazy. I have a trip planned in 6 months, but yeah, it's a little crazy right now. So anyways, great way to save money. So let me know if you like the color. Bye, everyone.
I do love the color. A good old burgundy. You know, it's cute. A good old, you know, yeah, a good old wine colored nail. That's cute. However, this is John Cedar, a former Bachelorette contestant, and this person is going around identifying as a trans woman.
Oh, hell
yeah,
no.
Honey. A trans woman, honey. I'm telling you, these days, like, all you need is a blouse and some lipstick. All you need is a blouse and a lipstick, honey. You're a woman. You're a woman. Fuck a uterus, okay? Fuck effort, okay? You know, fuck a gender dysphoria, okay? Stubbles and all, built like the Hulk, honey. Okay, Iron Man at this bitch. Iron Woman, honey. Girl, I think this is a cop chaser. I think that it's working for him. I'm gonna call this individual him. I'm sorry, because I do not take this seriously. I saw also like it was like an interview with him on Piers Morgan's YouTube channel, and he was mentioning that he's interested in competing with other women in lifting. Like, I guess it's its own sport, or, you know, but the fact that you ever even put yourself in the category of a woman and to compete with a woman when you never even touched estradiol in your life, you never had a little estrogen in your system, you know, you clearly you don't experience gender dysphoria, because I'm sorry, God forgive me, but if I was looking in the mirror and I saw myself looking like that, I would be extremely depressed, and because, you know, I suffer with something called gender dysphoria, you know, but that, you know, now people don't, you know, need to experience gender dysphoria to be trans, honey. And like, you know, like the offensive tranny, shout out to him for featuring me on his channel. Thank you, boo. He little cutie pie. I appreciate him. However, he mentioned something about like reclaiming the word transsexual, and I think that, I guess that's just the way to go, because anybody could say just trans now, and you're transgender. You can just look like that and it doesn't matter, and you're a woman. And it just, like, going back to what I was saying about the Piers Morgan interview, he was saying that, and I'm paraphrasing, but that because it's allowed for trans people to compete with other women in sports, that, you know, why not compete lifting in competition with other women? And you're built like that, like, and you're like, that's some sore loser shit. Like, you're a sore loser. Like, if you know that the advantages, you know what it's giving. Like, I definitely, this is a crowd chaser. I'm sorry. Like, you cannot be serious. You cannot be out here really thinking you're a woman. I mean, there's levels to this shit. And honey, you're not even on level 1. Next.
So what are you gonna do about it?
We're reporting it.
Are you gonna arrest me? Are you gonna give me a ticket?
This woman simply said she didn't care.
What was the reason? What was the reason? Cardi B voice. Like, seriously, what was the reason? What's the point of doing that? Like, antagonizing women in that manner. Like, do you not know that you are a guest in those spaces? You should be appreciative that you are welcome in those spaces. For you to sit here and make a video like that, like, ha ha ha, I'm trans and I'm in your space and you can't do anything about it. Nana nana boo boo, nana nana boo boo. That's what it's giving. Like, what kind of immature shit is that? And then we wonder why, we get all these women speaking out and calling us all kinds of men. Okay? And reminding us of, what we don't got. A uterus. A period, and so forth, because you bitches cannot just stand to just be grateful. You're a beautiful looking girl. Like, why you need to do all that? You get into the women's bathroom and you ain't got issues. You know what I mean? Like, you're passing, but it's like doing those kind of videos, like, it just perpetuates this, like, trans versus woman thing, and like, I'm in your space and what are you gonna do about it, instead of like being appreciative.
I see these, trans women are real women. No, you're not. Okay, that's the bottom line. This is the way I look at my life. I have everything changed. Birth certificate, gender marker, F. Okay, everything's changed. Driver's license, I'm a pilot, my pilot's license. You name every piece of everything that's in my name is legally Caitlyn Marie Jenner, gender marker F, okay? As I said earlier, I haven't used the men's room in a million years and probably never will, and have never had a problem. I mean, I go in there, I'm respectful of the other women that are there. They certainly, a lot of them will know who you are. I go in and do my business and get out, If somebody starts up a conversation, I'll have a conversation with them. So I live my life as a woman, but I don't consider myself this, like, I am a woman now, and on and on. No, I consider myself a trans person.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Facts. I mean, can you argue with anything that she has said? And I just want to make a statement. Just a quick statement. Like, I think there's a lot of trans folk that be hating on Caitlyn, and y'all just haters. Y'all just straight up haters. People just don't like. They will just not like you because you got more than them, because you have access, and then they will accuse you of being privileged and all this stuff. First of all, let's backpedal a little bit regarding Caitlyn's privilege, because before Caitlyn became Caitlyn, Caitlyn was Bruce Jenner, a renowned world athlete, champion. I don't follow the sports stuff like that, honey. But like, this was a person who worked for that privilege. Probably had sleepless nights. That's not easy. Like, being an athlete, that's not easy. So it's like when people make it seem as though like, oh, everything has fell in her lap and it's because she's white and this and the third. It's like, no, you're just mad because of her proximity to the Kardashians. You're just mad that one day she decided, fuck it, I'm gonna live my truth, and I got the money to just get the things done back to back. Life is a Burger King. Have it your way. Some of us gonna, be blessed in certain areas in our lives, and in other areas we're gonna lack. And even the most famous, the most wealthy, the person that you think that has it all is struggling with something. People just be hating because outside of like whatever, I guess, personal stuff that you may have against her, opinions about her, when it comes to the trans topic, she has never like said a lie. Like, she's always been logical. She's always been honest. She's always known who she was. And, you know, I'm not, like, I don't consider myself to be a conservative person or liberal person. I'm just an honest person. And just, like I said earlier in this video, like, I don't see everything black and white. Regardless of my position in this world, or, like, if I'm poor or not, or if I have access or not, like, I can't hate on somebody who's being truthful and who's being honest. Trans people in specific need to, like, stop hating, look at yourself in the mirror, okay? Love on yourself. And stop hating on Caitlyn, because Caitlyn's that girl. I like Caitlyn. I do. And even when it comes to, like, the Kardashians, I feel like people be hating hard on the Kardashians, and I could understand the conversation of beauty standards, and, you know, I'm not really into, like, all the filters and all that stuff. Like, I just, you know, like to live in reality. However, you know, you can't deny that they're very entertaining. They're an entertaining bunch, entertaining family. And, you know, like, people just hate. People hate on what they don't have. Like, stop hating. Stop being a hater. Stop being a hater. Okay? So anyway, shout out to Caitlyn. I see you. And I think that you are a person who is definitely a voice that's needed in our community.
Let's talk about transphobia in sports. There's so many conversations around trans inclusion in sports. We have state houses all over the United States that are passing bills to make sure that no trans kids are allowed to play sport at any level in their state. The science we have now says that transgender women do not hold an unfair biological advantage over cis women. So that's what the science says. But let's just say, you know, now what so much of the rhetoric is, well, if someone has gone through a male puberty and they've ever experienced that male puberty, then they will always be unfair to play women's sports, and we have to protect women's sports, so we can't have anybody who's experienced a male puberty in women's sports if it's a trans woman. So, okay, let's say that that's true, even though the science does not support that, but let's say that that is true. So now, though, we have in dozens of states in the United States that have outlawed gender-affirming care for trans kids. So if there was a young trans girl who let's say wanted to be a figure skater or a gymnast or a golfer or whatever the hell, she wouldn't be able to access the hormone blockers that would make it so that she would not go through a puberty. So do you see how we have governments and then we have governing bodies of athletics that are making it so trans people can't play sports anyway? But not only has trans women been able to play tennis and swim for the last 2 decades, how many Olympic trans tennis players or swimmers can you think of? Exactly, 0. When I was growing up, I got to play sports. And when I played those sports on teams, I learned about rejection. I learned about how to overcome an obstacle. I learned how to work together. I learned people skills. And when we take away the rights of kids to play sports with their peers, where you learn about that sort of thing, we're doing a huge injustice to trans kids for just not letting them play. I mean, this is not only about Olympic medals, it's also about society and about allowing people to learn and grow together and to not bully people. And we are literally legalizing bullying against trans kids under the guise of protecting girls' sports. So this is so much all wrapped up in transphobia. And also, by the way, if your state house has passed a bill against trans inclusion in sports, what's your property taxes like? What's your energy grid like? What's your day-to-day life like? The amount of energy that we've spent on legislating against trans people, we have much bigger problems than allowing trans kids to play sports. So that's why I think we should allow trans people to play sports.
Trans people or trans children? Because it's so contradictory. Like, you talk about social skills and rejection and socially teaching a child how to maneuver, you know, in society. Rejection is a part of, like, life. Why are we so focused on trans kids? Like, that's just creepy to me. That's just weird. Like I said earlier in this video, somewhere in this video, life ain't Burger King, have it your way. And children need to be taught that. And children have a lot of fantasies and a lot of desires and a lot of things that they would like to, you know, do or be. But to have a child undergo any hormonal treatment or like any blockers you know, to stop puberty. Like puberty is such a like important part of like of the human species. Like we need puberty. Like it's just strange to me, like like how people like focus on like these children that who knows can later regret those life-altering decisions that they can't change. And I say this as a child who knew something was up. I mean, I knew that I was like, I wanted to be a girl. I just didn't know it was possible. I didn't think it was an option. I thought it was all fantasy. And you know, I'm grateful that I had a lot of experimental time to think and to figure out who and what I was. And I started hormone therapy at 18 years old. And I was grown enough to make that decision. Although, you know, we still make stupid decisions even then, you know, at that age. So to give so much, to give that like power and say to a child, it's crazy to me. But going to the sports thing too, it's like, why can't trans people just make their own sports? Or have their own like league, like compete with your own kind? It's like we're like adamant and consistent in trying to like convince the world to believe that we're something other than what we are. I mean, I live my life socially as a woman. I do feel that. I don't feel like the, you know, people, you know, receive me as something outside of being a woman. But like the truth is that I'm a trans woman and I don't have uterus and my anatomy is different. And that's okay. We can't ignore our anatomy, especially when it comes to like things like that are so obvious, like competing with other people that aren't like you and having advantages that, you know, like it's not fair. That's some sore loser ass shit. I don't think there's anybody at the table saying like, oh, let's start our own thing. It's like, no, we want to take over this thing and we want to be a part of this thing, and because we're equal and we have a point to prove and I'm a woman just like you, da 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 da. No, you're not, honey. Point blank. Period.
Being a woman isn't all getting dressed up and doing your makeup. You're right, it's a lot of things. It's the grooves in between your fingers from walking home at night clutching your keys. It's knowing you can always ask someone for a hair tie and they'll have one on their wrist waiting for you. It's the pure joy of realizing your dress has pockets, even though this one doesn't. It's always going to the bathroom in a pack. It's playing as the female character in video games and still kicking ass. Pulling someone's hair out of the way to zip their dress or clasp their bra. It's never being afraid to use emojis, especially the pink ones. It's knowing how to tie a tie so you can always make sure your date looks handsome. It's all the little razor bumps on your legs and your arms and your face and the bottom of your stomach. It's taking off your shoes halfway through the night. It's creating literal works of art on our nails and our eyelids. It's dropping everything to help each other if we see someone else crying in public. I understand womanhood because I am a woman. And while I didn't have my first period in middle school, you don't have to fold your genitals up and put them inside yourself every day. We all have different experiences of what womanhood is, and it doesn't make any of us any less valid. So stop pretending that trans women don't understand what it's like to be real women. We all go through triumphs and tribulations as women every single day, and tearing each other down is just going to make it harder for all of us in the long run.
You know what? Let's give a round of applause to Dylan Mulvaney. Look at all of these like archetypes that you have birthed, honey. Like you are. That's what we gotta give it to her. We gotta give it to Miss Thing. We gotta give it to Dylan Mulvaney. Look at these girls trying. Like she is like the Dylan Mulvaney from Wish. Like like the generic brand Dylan Mulvaney. Like you're trying to be quirky, you're trying to be funny. You know, you're just using all these like stereotypes to like validate what womanhood is, and being a woman is so much more than all those things that you said. It's funny to me. It's funny because it's like, girl, no, you're not a real woman. You're not. And you prove it even more so when you make stupid videos like that. And it just am I wrong? Am I right? Look, like Dylan Mulvaney from Wish, honey, I'm telling you, this is like yo, these girls be trying, they trying to like follow the same footsteps, honey, because you know they want that clout. They want that clout, honey. I'm telling you, the clout chase. I'm telling you, the shit that people do for fame, girl. The shit that people do for attention, honey. I can't.
Listen up, buckaroos. Women do have their own spaces, and their spaces are with trans women, and if you don't like that, then you're the one who's not the real woman, and we all know where you shouldn't be, and that's in space with other women, because you are a danger. Goodbye.
This man, that's a man. Honey, that's a man. People who aren't trans who have so much to say. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this person is like, might identify as trans themselves. Like, I might identify as a trans woman, honey. That's a dude. That's a dude. And for you to have the nerve to say what a real woman is and what a real woman's not. You got the nerve. The audacity, but not the talent, honey. I cannot, honey, with these, this new age trans shit, honey.
Transgender women don't get periods. I'm tired of seeing delusional trans women say that they're on their period or experiencing period symptoms. You will never have a period and you'll never experience one. So stop acting like it and disrespecting women who have to suffer with their period on a monthly basis. You're making a fool of our community. Many cisgender women experience their period, and some transgender men do as well, and non-binary people. But transgender women will never get periods and don't have periods. Yes, when you take your hormones, your hormone levels may fluctuate. You may have dips in your testosterone and estrogen, and that will cause some symptoms, but it is not comparable to what a period is. You don't need to call it that because it's disrespectful to people who actually suffer with that process because their body has a uterus. You don't have a uterus, therefore you won't have a period. It is impossible. You don't have the biological hardware that's required to go through a period.
Facts. She didn't say a lie. However, what's like baffling to me is that a person has to even say that. Like, that a person, another trans woman, has to remind other trans people, like you don't, like other trans women, that you don't have a uterus and that you can have a like, what is life?
I get asked a lot of questions about my top surgery, and so I figured I would answer some frequently asked questions. How much did it cost? For me, it was $7,500 because I got without nipples. With nipples, it would have been $9,000. I got double incision surgery without nipples from Dr. Doolin in Plano, Texas. I cannot recommend him and his team more highly. Like, the best possible experience that I could have had, just all the way around. But it's so dependent on where you go, what kind of surgery you're getting, whether or not you're getting nipples. There's a lot that goes into it. Let me know what kind of questions y'all have. I would love to answer them.
Listen, I'm a true believer in, like, you know, if it's your body, do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if she'll regret that in the future, but that's neither here or there or any of my business. However, what irks my nerve is that, like, it's fine you want to be a nippleless fairy, a chestless fairy, honey. You saw her waist, so snatched, honey. I wish my waist was, you know, that snatched shit. However, when you have a platform, you have a certain level of responsibility. And on TikTok, there's a lot of young and impressionable people. And my issue with this video is you giving out recommendations. You opening up the chat for questions and like as if you're a doctor, as if you're a medical professional. And then young and impressionable people who want to be popular, who want to be cool, who want to be trenders, are gonna be curious and delulu and do something like that, so life altering, that they might regret later on. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna recommend them a place to get their nipples back, to get their boobies back? No. After you collected your coin from the TikToks of the world or wherever, you're just gonna keep it much moving. You know, these people don't give a fuck. They don't really care. They get paid for the indoctrination, honey. They get paid, honey. And it's just, to me, it's so like absurd that this is the kind of content that's endorsed, that's promoted, that's pushed in the algorithm of TikTok. And you have all these children that follow people like her and want to be just like her, nippleless.
Non-binary people are transgender. We are literally in the flag. That white stripe, that's us, baby. It is really frustrating to hear people try to exclude non-binary people from the transgender community simply because we don't fit into the binary. Well, that's kind of the point. And please stop trying to identify us based on binary terms that you already understand. You might need to expand your thinking when it comes to non-binary people. We're not going to fit into categories that this colonial society has taught you. No matter what people were assigned at birth, no matter how they identify us now, people can dress however they want, they can identify however they want. The only requirement to be trans is to identify differently than what you were assigned at birth. That's it. That's it. No required transition, no required presentation, no required pronouns or binary-ness. That's your reminder for the day. Non-binary people are here to stay, in the transgender community. So please stop trying to leave us out. Thanks.
First of all, congratulations that you could wake up one day and say you're a man, and the next day wake up and say you're a woman. Congratulations that that's a privilege. Because for real trans folk who experience gender dysphoria, we don't have that privilege. I mean, that's what we want to attain. Like, real trans people want to fit the binary. We want to coexist with the rest of everyone else in a light in which we want to be seen and received as. You know, I love the fact that I can walk down the street nowadays. And, don't get me wrong, sometimes I do feel like I'm a little androgynous, but, for the most part, people call me she, her. I don't have to demand and shout at anybody to call me a she and a her. I don't need to correct anybody. I just live my truth, and people follow suit because, I present the way I present. And that makes me feel amazing. That makes me feel so good. And it's me trying to fit the binary. So it's crazy when I hear all this these non-binary people have these rhetorics and try to appropriate transness, and it's I'm telling you, it just feels very trending, very we're trans too. And it's I don't have an issue with people who if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But then when you walk around in the world angry, banging on your chest no, call me dead, having all these unrealistic expectations from people around you, it's delusional. And I don't think you're trans. I don't think that's trans. I just think that's something else. But I don't think that's trans, honey. But again, gotta reclaim transsexuality, because apparently transgender, transness, it's a whole different thing now. Anyway, y'all, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't be shy. Stop playing. I got a little over 4K subscribers. There shouldn't be no reason why I ain't got hundreds of likes up in this bitch. I don't got hundreds of comments up in this bitch. Honey, y'all just secret admirers, honey? Y'all just bringing me flowers on my door and then running away? And I can't see your face? I don't know who you are? Make yourself known. Introduce yourself, okay? Welcome to the family. I appreciate y'all for being here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things, and turn on your notification bell so that you always know when I upload. I appreciate y'all here. I really, really do. Whew. Honey. It's too hot for that shit. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. The struggle pony. The struggle pony. Okay. Hairstyle number 2. Okay. Grand reveal. Bye, y'all.